I didn't come to this industry for numbers in terms of box office. I'm not a box office actor like, oh my God, this Friday I got to open at 5 crores, and clock 30 by the weekend. That's not my game. My game is different. My game is to solidify my name in the industry, to change certain things, to break stereotypes, to work, to be here, to be offered work.
Tell me one project that according to you, you feel that, sort of really changed your perception in the eyes of the filmmakers or the audience as an actor. I have a name in mind, but I would want to check with you first.
What do you mean?
No, I mean, what do you think was that one role or project that you think made filmmakers take you more seriously as an actor?
I really don't know.
I think it was Butler House.
You think it was Butler
Yeah.
House? Interesting. Okay.
That was, I think, a really interesting character. I just wish it was more fleshed out.
Yes. Interesting enough, that character never existed initially.
Really?
Yeah, after Dilbar, I was like, great, this is amazing. Like, I know how to do dance numbers, very nice, amazing. But the next thing, because I was actually saying this in a previous interview, I always envision my career in my head as like staircase. And like each staircase is a building block for my career. So one is like, for example, Dilbar, right? That was one staircase.
Yeah.
That was one step. After that, success and elevation and appreciation that happened, it was a turning point in my career. Uske baad na, there's another step. So in my mind, the next step was to open up another market as a singer outside of India.
Yeah.
And I did that with Arabic Dilbar, which I produced and I financed and I sang. And I released it and it became this international sensation. That was one step.
Yeah.
And then after that, the next step was, okay, if I have to do any song in a film after Dilbar, it should be attached to a role. So when they came to me for Saki, I was like, sir, please, like, write some role, even if it's 3 scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, but let me just step into the world of, hey guys, like, I can do this. Let me show that I can speak the language. Let me show that I can act just a little bit. It's fine. And so then he was like, okay, and he wrote that role.
Wow.
So that's how that happened. So each thing in my career is a step of a staircase. And I always try to elevate it one step further. Like, for example, when we did Street Dancer, it was a supporting role, second lead. It was a smaller role, but it was important and it had a great song, and it was with Varun Dhawan and Shraddha. And someone like me, that was a turning point in my film career. And in my head, I'm like, this is great. The next step has to be something more stronger. And then I didn't budge. The film didn't work, but my role had something good to do, it had great action sequences, and someone like Ajay sir, like, these are great things for me as someone who's started from nothing. So I look at my career as building blocks and steps to a staircase. Today we're talking about an era of me stepping into the lead roles with Crack and Madgaon Express and Be Happy and Matka, and all these films are coming my way. That's the next step. So we'll keep going up the stairs slowly. Maybe one day the steps will go into, more stronger lead roles. Who knows,
Of course.
But I'm just going up the stairs slowly.
Let's talk about Crack. I mean, I liked what you did in the film.
Thank you.
But the film didn't, work. It did not work as per expectations. Did that bother you?
No, it didn't. Yeah,
No?
a lot of people ask me, they're like, hey, how are you feeling? I'm like, great. Because I didn't come to this industry for numbers in terms of box office. I'm not a box office actor like, oh my God, this Friday I got to open at 5 crores, and clock 30 by the weekend. That's not my game. My game is different. My game is to solidify my name in the industry, to change certain things, to break stereotypes, to work. To be here, to be offered work. That is my game. That other stuff is not really my thing, right? The fact that I have a story and one day I can make a documentary and talk about how this random girl named Nora, coming from the most random place of the world, who's not even Indian, came and then she assimilated and she learned the language and then she broke barriers and this is her story, and she did this film and acted with this actor, and then someone one day told her it's not possible, but then she made it happen, and then she became a global star, and then she did this. This is my story. It's not about box office. That's not my story at all. It's someone else's story. So I'm like, guys, it's okay. You know, at least I was in a film.
Of course.
Yeah, so that's how I feel. Yeah.
But is there a actual thought to make that documentary?
I want to one day. I think my story is documentary worthy one day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, you have spoken about, you know, coming to Bombay with, you know, just 5,000 rupees in your pocket. And, you know, you have seen some really tough times. We have heard you speaking about that, you know, living with so many people, thinking that, oh, I think, you know, it's time for me to quit. I cannot do this anymore to, you know, now what the success that you've seen. Do you think those early years, Nora, even though it broke you at that time, has made you unbreakable today?
Yeah, 100%. I think everything, even before coming to India, I had a rough life. So that whole hustle and grind that I went through up till now made me thick-skinned, made me street smart, made me understand life, made me a little bit more intellectual, emotionally intelligent. It also allowed me to understand how to navigate through this all, like this whole jungle. I thank my upbringing for that. I thank my, you know, psychological presence. I also thank all the struggles and hardship that I had because, hey, I'm not the only one who's going through shit. You know, there's so many people going through it. There are people who are not specifically people who are trying to be in the industry, but people who are trying to be in any industry, right? And trying to climb the corporate ladder, trying to make it, trying to become something. Maybe even people who are just single moms, you know, there's people in life just dealing with life and the stuff that comes their way. I just want to be a source of inspiration and motivation. So whenever I do tell my stories and I'm like, hey, you know, this happened to me, that happened to me, it's not to gain sympathy or, oh, bichari, oh, none of that. It's basically just to remind people that you are not alone. I may look like this aspirational, you know, star that everyone is admiring, but I'm just like you because here, this is what I went through, this is what happened to me, and I was thinking this at that time. So I want people to connect and relate to me. And anybody who watches my interviews, by the way, I only give like 1% of the stuff I'm going through. I never really say everything in totality, but I do want anyone who watches my interview to be like, hey, oh my God, I'm going through the same thing. Yeah. Or relate to me and also take it as a inspiration and a motivation that please, whatever you're doing, just keep going. Don't let anyone's statement, anyone's bullying, harassment, or any bumps in the road stop you from keeping your eye on the prize. And that's what I was doing, and I want other people to do the same. Hi, this is Nora Fatehi. You're watching me on News 18.